Greetings fellow based people. In this video, we are going to talk about Newton's laws of motion. But first of all, what exactly is motion? Well, motion is simply moving. But it's not that simple because, let's say I ask you, are you in motion? Then you would probably say that I'm not in motion because I'm not moving. But if I will go out in space and look at you, then you would be moving because the earth is moving. This motion thing really depends on something called the frame of reference. You are not in motion, you are at rest according to your frame of reference. But according to the frame of reference of someone who is in outer space, you are moving since the earth is moving. Now that you know what motion is, we can ask questions like, how far did the thing move, which is called displacement? How fast did it move, which is called velocity? And how fast did the speed change, which is called acceleration? But all these are the how of motion. They describe motion, but we are concerned with something else in this chapter. We are concerned with the why question. Till now you have spoken about the effect of motion. We are going to talk about the cause of motion here, the why of motion. So in order to answer this question, we need to go far back in time. There used to be this philosopher named Aristotle. You might have heard about him. He said that the natural state of things is to be at rest. So this is what everyone believed for years, that if someone will push something, then that thing will eventually come to rest, until a genius man named Galileo came in. From his experiments, he deducted that if a thing is moving, then it would keep on moving until and unless there's something which causes it to stop. For example, you are sliding on the ground. You would actually keep on sliding, but there is something which stops you from sliding, and that thing is the frictional force exerted by the ground on you. This later gets modified into Newton's first law of motion, which is stated in Principia as, every body preserves in its state of rest or of uniform motion in a right line, unless it is compelled to change that state by forces impressed upon them. So this Newton's first law describes something called inertia. Inertia is an idea to describe the tendency of objects to keep on moving or to stay at rest. Inertia is not a force. Inertia is something you'll get when you will take away all the forces. So let's try to understand what this inertia really means. So what does this Newton's first law says? It says that everything in this universe, if it's at rest, will continue to be at rest. And if it's in uniform linear motion, then it will continue to be in the uniform linear motion, unless it's acted upon by some external net force. Now, what is uniform linear motion? It means in a straight line, with the velocity not changing, with no acceleration. If you have something in a circular motion, then it will not count. So this tendency of objects to not change their velocity, to not change, to stay inert, is called inertia. Now let's imagine that you're in a van and the van is moving forward, but it suddenly stops, and then you'll go forward, boom, like that. You'll feel a push right immediately when the brakes are applied. Why did that happen? Some geeky nerdy science boy there would say, it's because of inertia. If you'll ask that guy, why did my shoes worn off? He would say, it's because of friction. I don't want you to become like that guy. I want you to know that when the bus was moving, you were moving as well. But when the bus suddenly stopped, your body wanted to maintain its velocity. Your body wanted to be inert, to not change its velocity. And this is why you felt a sudden push forward. This is called inertia, but this is not the reason. I want you to know that we don't know why did that happen. I can just tell you that it happens, but I can't tell you why it happens. If someone will say that it's because of inertia, they're wrong, because it's called inertia. It's not because of inertia. I want you to know the difference between the reason and what it's called. It's called inertia. It's not because of inertia. So this was the introduction to Newton's laws of motion and also the world of classical mechanics. In the next video, we're going to talk about Newton's second law of motion.